So here we go back. So we know that we're allowed to look at ways that we can help squelch violence. One of the things the USCCB has said, and they've sent letters to the entertainment industry in Hollywood and New York saying, let's explore the level of violence that we use in the media. Consider thinking for yourself, how many TV shows do you watch that are very violent? How many video games do you play where there's active killing going on? How many movies do you go to where people kill each other? And many people say it's no big deal, it's just entertainment. But the reality of it is, we ask ourselves the question, does entertainment follow society? Or does society follow entertainment? It's a legitimate question I need you to ask yourself. We have the responsibility of creating a world that's better. And are we better when we think of watching people get killed for entertainment? Um, the next article 32 is about self-defense and war. Um, it starts off by saying that it's always immoral to start a war, because war eventually ends in people being killed. In many cases, more civilians get killed than soldiers, and that becomes a major issue. And as I mentioned before, legitimate self-defense is not only right, but in many cases, it's a way to contribute to peace. So police force and the military are both institutions that help to protect society and protect justice. And so it sometimes is not only a right, but it's a duty. So when we think about serving in the army or in the military or as a cop, that's possibly a way of being justified as a way of trying to make the world a better place. You've learned about just war last year, morality. I'm going to leave that to the video that you can watch up on the top there. There are two short little videos I'd really like you to watch on just war so you understand. That's something as an 18-year-old you're going to have to know in case the draft ever does get put back into place. Conscience objection is a legitimate way of telling the army and telling the government that you personally do not want to fight in a war for moral reasons. Selective conscience objections we do not have in the United States yet, but the USCCB has requested the Congress to consider passing a law that would allow a person to be able to pick and choose which wars they consider to be immoral. The arms race is a way of talking about building up our arsenals so that we can defend ourselves. Back in the Reagan era, it was called mutually assured destruction. In other words, we wanted to have so many nuclear weapons that we would assure that no one would ever start a war for us, because they knew if they started it, it would end in the total destruction of all life on Earth. And so the thought being that it would deter people from starting a war. But the arms trade costs a lot of money. There's two videos there I'd like you to see. And in the cost of those monies, one can ask themselves, is that something that could be better spent on a thing that can make the world a better place? Arms trade's a big deal. I do have one of those videos that you're going to see is on that. And the reality of it is, most of the time, most of the arms in the world are sold by developed countries, and because of that, those usually are bought by third world countries and used for wars that are going to cause lots of problems. The other thing are landmines. One of the issues with those is that after a war is over, they usually remain in place, and then people and kids are the ones that are most affected by that. The last two chapters are on waging war and waging peace. In other words, there are people who dedicate their lives to trying to help people resolve conflicts by being able to fix the problems that are causing the injustices, building solidarity with people so they can feel that oneness and taking the time to prayer. Nonviolent conflict resolution is a way of saying, how can you help people understand the other means that are available to them to be able to solve conflict by starting with things that can help them and make them better people. Again, I apologize for these being so quick, but hopefully you got a gist of it.